What's going on, YouTube? Y'all already know what it is, man. It's your boy, Mom92. We are here to talk about, and when I say we, I got my boy right here.
Hey, what's good? It's Ashington, guys. You already know.
And we're here to talk about the game that just came out, or the beta that just came out for the game, Avatar Legends. Avatar Legends is a game that people have been waiting on. It's a nice IP. If you haven't seen Avatar, please go watch it. Really good. The first one and the second one. And this is a game that a lot of people have been waiting on. We've been seeing a lot of footage on it as far before it came out. They got to play the game a few times at Evo. And I mean, from the looks of it, it always looked like something that was kind of like, we don't know. We don't know what it's going to be. We don't know how good it's going to be, because we had a few games to come out before that with great IPs that was kind of like, it's okay. Right. So I'm here to talk to my boy about this game today. And the reason why I chose him to talk to is because if y'all don't know, we're on a team called Team EAT, EET. It's all three of our names put together. And he is the front runner of Avatar, or the person who pretty much decided to be the front runner for Avatar Legends, right? This is his first time trying it, right?
Yes.
Okay, it's his first time trying it, and this is something that he was looking forward to, and something that he felt like he would be playing for pretty much the entirety of the game. So now that he's tried the beta, I want to do a video with him, and this kind of give y'all also an idea on, if you haven't tried the game, or even if you have, on what the feel of the game is, just things like that. This will give you also an idea. So this is also nice people who just want to kind of understand like what somebody else thinks about the game. Somebody who, me personally, I would consider definitely an above average level for video games. So without further ado, make sure y'all leave a like, leave a comment. I already know, subscribe to the boy, man. It's free 90 free. Y'all already know. So I got a few questions for my boy. I'm going to ask these questions, and then he's going to kind of just go through them and everything. So I kind of kept the questions a little general, and I'm just curious on your thoughts, man. So the first question I wanted to ask, because I feel like this is one of the most important things when it comes to a fighting game. When you first cut this game on, with the training mode, all that good stuff, what was the feel of the game like?
I would say it didn't. It felt a little bit on the clunky side. Like I was like, it almost reminded me a little bit of like NRS, in a sense where I feel like I'm putting these buttons in, they're gonna come out even if I don't. Like the leniency was pretty high, and it didn't feel amazingly responsive. But I think the biggest reason for that is because I went straight into training mode. I didn't really understand the pace of the matches while I was trying to learn offense, like combos and stuff. So it didn't feel super smooth, but it at the same time it had somewhat of an anime feel to it, just because of the movement. Um, uh, but after playing my first match, I was like, okay, I think I see it. You like seeing how other people were moving and how they were playing. I'm like, okay, this isn't bad. At this point, I would say it definitely feels very, very good. Like a nice mixture between your old footsie style from like way back when, with movements of a game like Guilty Gear Exert, but it also has like some pretty cool combos and stuff. So I mean, it's pretty. I would say the feeling, if I had to rate it out of 10, probably like I'd give it an 8.
An 8, that's actually pretty good. An 8 out of 10,
Mm-hmm.
especially when it literally, we'll say dropped, because this is the beta. It literally comes out in like what, another week or so, 2 weeks.
I think the 23rd, and we got about
23rd. Okay.
yeah,
Which means it can get even better. So if it's an 8, it can get even better. They're gonna get the feedback and go off from there. So that's good. You always want a game to, first of all, it has to feel good. You don't even want to play it if it's like, this doesn't even feel that good. I think one of the gripes I had with Invincible Versus was outside, like training mode, bro. It felt like one of the best games I ever felt. When you get into a match and start pressing those buttons and start doing combos, to me personally, it just didn't feel that great. And you gotta have something that feels good. All right, so question number 2, because I think this is one of the first things any of us fighting game guys, especially when you want to compete in things like that, do, is go to training mode. What was the training mode like? Do they need improvements? And just talk about it.
Yeah, I think that with how other training modes are, it's a lot easier to take for example, take control of whoever you have set as your dummy and create situations. It's a little bit more difficult in this one. I don't like how the reset button works. It looks like you have to save state first,
Hmm.
and then you have to reload to that save state. And I would rather it be like, let's just reset training mode. They do have a button that, or like a, I think it's the four face buttons if you're using a pad, to reset it, but it's not resetting in the sense of like go to the last phase. It's just really quirky. But I think that that's easy to smooth out. Also, the location of like frame data is very confusing. I know that you had an issue where you were trying to see if something was plus, and it looked like the number was following the character underneath, but if you get too close to the other character, it like doesn't know which character to go to, or it's not clear who it's under or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
So just a few UI issues. Um, and I wish that making the scenario that you want to test was a little easier. But I mean, I'm still able to practice offense and still choose like reversal, flow state stuff. I would probably give it like a 6 out of 10.
Okay, okay, 6 out of 10. I like that. I do think, yeah, I would agree with that. Training mode definitely could be improved, but I do feel like they will improve it. I kind of almost feel like that was kind of like a beta training mode. Like that's what it felt like. If because normally betas don't like to give you training modes, so I felt like they were just kind of like, well, let's give them something, and it was okay. Like you said, it wasn't bad. You were able to kind of learn the game doing it, so it wasn't that bad. My third question is online play. How was the online play? And talk about it at the lowest. Talk about it at the highest. Just the quality of matches. Did it feel like there was an elo system? Go ahead.
Okay. So first of all, as far as the connection goes, I would say the connection was like for the vast majority of my matches were so smooth that it felt like it could have been offline. Um, I guess it just depends on the state that the beta's in, but it was very consistently smooth for me. So,
Okay.
netcode wise, I'd probably give it like 8 or a 9 out of 10. Um, Elo system, I almost would like to say that yes, there had to have been something going on, because when I started off, I was playing a whole bunch of mashers,
Hmm.
just like 5 over and over
Yeah,
auto
yeah.
combo, and that's it. And then it's like once they stopped giving me those players, like I didn't get any more of them. Like
Yeah.
everyone was doing, all right, these are follow ups. They're canceling into this, and then I'm like, okay. So
Okay.
and it was like that pretty much from that point on. Um, the worst thing about the connections, though, I would say that whenever at the lowest, there were times where I would get 2 or 3 hits in a combo, and then it would go to either them blocking
Hmm.
or them comboing me. So that, like whenever it is bad, they're like some teleport issues. Like it's impossible to play whenever it's at its worst, because you cannot see what's going on until after it shows you.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
doesn't develop. But like I said, whenever it's at its best, that's how I imagine offline would feel. It felt like I was in training mode with another human controlling the dummy. Like it was really good.
Okay, well, that's really good. Yeah, that's really good. And once again, y'all, this is just a beta, so it can only go up. It can only go up. And I had the same experience. I would say the connection was pretty good. It wasn't like when it was good, it was good. Like when me and you played, we didn't really have any issues. Like it lagging
Except
really
you
hard.
picked Toph, but other than that, it was smooth.
Hey, it's crazy that you say that because my next question is about characters. And this question is kind of a loaded question because I want you to talk about the characters, but first we're gonna start off with why you picked the character you picked. Who did you pick first of all? Why you picked them? Do you think this is a character that you will continue with, right? And we'll just say season one, right? Because we got DLC coming, all that stuff. So we'll just say season one. Like season one, the game comes out. Is this the character you're gonna play? Why is this the character you chose? And then we'll kind of go into the characters in general. We may not go through. You don't have to go through each one necessarily, but just kind of go through them in general. How you feel about it?
Okay.
Uniqueness and things like that. Go ahead.
Okay. Oh, all right. In terms of uniqueness, we'll go ahead and give it a 10 out of 10. That
Okay,
like
yeah,
everyone has a mini game, and I love that. I always love that about fighting games. I want to say there are what 7 characters in the beta right now.
I believe so. Yeah.
Um, okay. So the character that I ended up landing on and playing for the majority of the beta was Korra. Did not expect that at all. I saw myself playing Toph. I still kind of see myself going in that direction just
Hmm.
after seeing all the stuff in the beta. I think she fits my playing style by a long shot. Like I
Hmm.
have a grappler history, and she has great footsie tools on top of a command grab. So whatever. But I landed on Korra, and what I learned from playing her is that I don't think it's going to be realistic for season one to main one character
Mm.
unless you get very lucky in bracket if you're going to be a tournament winner. And the reason I say that is because the characters who have strengths against other characters, it feels like it's a shutdown fest. I know that the game hasn't developed ridiculously yet, so there's probably going to be things with mechanics to deal with it. But in terms of character matchups, for example, if everything I have is a single hitting button and Toph has armor that you have to hit twice to break, then it eliminates a lot of advances I can do against someone who is just throwing armor out at random. But
Yeah.
if I'm someone like Sokka, who has a jump in where he's spinning something and it hits multiple times on the way down, like Salvatore in City of the Wolves, for example, where just
Hmm.
multi-hitting normals, then he comes down and he eliminates the threat of that armor going through his jump in.
Yeah.
So it would have to be timed very early. And stuff like that, it makes me think that the characters are all unique enough to have strengths that are so strong that they shine, but the weaknesses are so low that they can pull the shine away. Just it just depends on the matchup. But everyone seems like they have this tech where it's like you can do this situationally, and I think it's great. The characters, there are 7, so it's not a big roster, but I feel like they did target the characters who were very well known from the series. I think
Hmm.
that's important, and probably I would argue that they are the most popular characters that we saw, at least from because I watched Legend of Korra as well. I think they chose a good 7. I don't know what it's supposed to be when the game comes out. I know
I
that
think
we
it might be
have DLP.
10.
Okay, but yeah, I think that they did a very good job with character selection and making them unique. Like filling up this bar enhances this element, and you get notifications talking about that. Or like Sokka, for example, there was a boom. He can have a boomerang, something with a. It's just wild. Like they're all doing their own thing. And whenever you learn those things, it's like, oh, okay, and you see how vast the game is and how deep the characters are.
They get
So
pretty deep in this game.
characters 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10. I agree with that. They did choose, especially for this beta, they did choose a good roster for this beta for sure.
Oh, and real quick, the fact
Good.
that Aang is the face of Avatar, and he's actually a cool design. I love that. I don't like whenever the face is like kind of bland or what
Yeah,
their
yeah.
idea of this is. Like the standard, and everyone else is just kind of like nah, he's his own thing, and he's pretty
He
cool. So
definitely
I
is his
love
own
that.
thing. He's pretty. Yeah, he's very cool. And so yeah, the uniqueness of the characters, they really did a good job. They really look like they play how they should play, honestly. Like I think Avatar should be a crazy game. It should be some craziness going on. The bending looks really good. The animations. I don't remember what the game first looked like. I might even play a clip for y'all because I don't remember what it first looked like. I want to see it myself. But what it looks like now, I mean, to me personally, it looks good. It's not looking like Marvel Tokan, but I don't think Avatar should look like Marvel Tokan. You know what I'm saying? It looks like it's supposed to have this, because this is like an old school cartoon feel, right? When I look at it, so I'm definitely liking what they did with the characters and everything like that. All right, so let's talk about the mechanics of the game, because this is another important thing, right? Are there enough mechanics in this game? Do they need more? Has it gone too far? Let's talk about the mechanics.
Okay, I 100% believe that they nailed it. Obviously it's a beta, so they haven't developed. There are going to be situations where hey, if you're playing this matchup and this person does this, if you don't use your, like flow state, whatever dodge, then you're going to lose or you're not giving yourself a chance. Like, it's just going to be part of it. I feel like they gave you enough defensively to be like, hey, you can get out of this. You just have to manage your resources. Perfect.
Yeah.
And then on the other end, it's like you can cash out if you think you can get this. Cool. Perfect balance. And it doesn't feel nearly as detrimental as something where it's like randomly do a drive impact, get the counter hit, and all of a sudden you just did 70%. It's kind of like get off of me, reset neutral, and I always love stuff like that. Or if you throw this out, I can punish you, but I'm not punishing you because I'm mashing. I'm punishing you because this is a gap, and you tried to like I love whenever those interactions are like it could have gone either way, but it's not a guess because the mechanic feels overbearing. I feel like they nailed it.
Okay. And what would you rate that?
I'd give it a 7.5 out of 10, and that's just because they haven't developed, and I know that I feel like people who spam mechanics in this game are going to get destroyed. But if it's a game like Street Fighter 6, you can probably climb to master because people don't really learn how to deal with it unless they care about the game enough.
How to punish you not having that stuff.
But in this game, even if you're like just spamming certain things mechanically, it's kind of like, oh, I have time to walk up to you and throw you now, and you're just kind of stuck.
Yeah.
Or you'll exhaust your whatever it's called, unleveled, I believe. They're like you just run out of your resources and you're susceptible to a lot of chip damage, and your offense is worse as well.
And one thing I noticed before we move to the next question in this game is that a lot of people right now are just focused on combos, right? Like it doesn't matter. I'm doing the same combo every time. I understand it takes 100. I better have 100 because I'm about to use that 100, that 200, whatever to get this whole combo. So, and then I'm thinking about what happens when, this combo's over and this other person rolls, I'm in the corner. And what happens? You know what I mean? So people aren't thinking like that just yet, but I think that'll come.
For sure.
Would you make any changes to this game just from what you played? Or are you like, nah, because this game it literally hasn't developed. It hasn't done anything yet. So do we want to let it develop, or would I make a change?
I would definitely let it develop. And one of the biggest reasons that I say that is because I was complaining super hard about the Toph matchup, because it feels like Korra is very, very limited in what she can do. She has to respect a lot of things that Toph does. But just from yesterday to today, I came up with a few answers to a few problems I was having in that matchup, and it feels more playable. It still feels very lopsided, but overall, I'm kind of like, well, that was the frustration of not knowing, and obviously that's because it's a beta. I had less than 2 days on it, so now it's like, I think that there is a very, very easy trap to fall in where you're like, oh no, this isn't well made because it's too hard. But then it's early, and then like down the road you find, oh, could I have done this all along? And it's just that it's the initial frustration. But I think having the discipline to play through frustration and be willing to learn or lab or get used to things, know what to look for, it changes everything. Like if this is a strong advance and you keep doing it, but it gets shut down by a character, is it really lopsided because you're stubborn enough to keep going with the strong advance, or you might just be making the matchup bad. So yeah, I would leave it alone, let it develop, and see where it's at. Probably about 2 months after release, because that's when you're going to start seeing answers to problems.
Okay. And one question before I go to the next one: do you feel like in the whole beta that was your hardest matchup?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Because I haven't really heard you talk about any other character for real. Have you fought every character?
Yeah, I have. Yes.
Okay. Because I know you played it a lot, but you feel like that. Okay, that was the hardest one. Okay, cool. Yes. So once again, when I started this video, I said that you pretty much were the guy who's like, yo, Avatar, right? And now that you played it, we got most of your thoughts and everything. what are your plans for this game? Or do you feel like, and do you even feel like, right now that's something you can answer, or do you feel like you need to let or play more? Would you say play more, need more time, wait for the game to come out, try it a little more, see what they do? I mean, what are your plans?
So I guess the easiest way for me to answer that is I need more time.
Okay.
Um, while I'll say that the game felt great and I had a good experience with it overall, I can see myself playing it as a secondary game versus a primary game.
Okay.
And the reason for that is just there's going to be quite a bit to learn with this game, and even though there are similarities in my mind, it's like a hybrid of a Guilty Gear and a Street Fighter or an Under Night. It's it's not so overbearingly fun that I'm like, I can't miss any time in this beta. And I
Yeah.
have had betas that are like that. And it's not to say the game isn't fun, but um, I feel like with it being a beta, it's almost like I can't make a decision. I can't. Like,
Hmm.
I need the game to be out. I feel like maybe 2 or 3 days after the game actually drops, I'll know if I want to main it or really put a whole bunch of work into it and keep that whole like yeah I want to be the best. I'm gonna be the best at it. Or like, and I feel like I can take on that mentality, but the game has to meet me adequately. And right now, just because I know it's a beta and I've felt some of the frustrations that come with certain things, and I've also felt like, oh, like these are the cool points compared to other games, especially City of the Wolves for me right now.
Yeah.
I'm like, the highs aren't necessarily high enough for me to be like, yeah, I'm gonna do it for sure. And the
Yeah.
lows are definitely low enough for me to be like, do I want to learn this right now?
Yeah.
Like to the
Yeah.
point where, like I feel like I'm in a good competitive headspace, so I don't want to jeopardize that by forcing myself to play something that I still have a few question marks about. And the question marks aren't negative. I just need the blanks filled before I make a decision, and that's just for my own personal competitive well-being.
No, that makes sense. I like that. That makes sense. And I felt like you would say that you need more time anyway. I do think, why not, right? We do need an actual release to really see like the, I guess we'll say, finished product. So yeah, for sure. And then you like they can see your gameplay in the background. Y'all see it says beta playtest build right in the middle of the screen. Like they letting y'all know this is, there's more to come. So this is gonna be. It said they're gonna be the last question or one of my last questions, right?
Yeah.
And we'll go from there. Competitive lifespan. So, how do you feel this game is going to do? You can give it amount of years. You can talk about, maybe it needs more time. The same way about your plans. We don't know. How do you feel like the competitive lifespan for this game will go?
Um, I feel like the name will carry. I feel like it's going to have its own community. So I think it's going to have at least a 2-year lifespan.
Okay.
At least.
Okay.
And that's because there's going to be a group of people who will not let it die.
Yeah, I
Like
agree.
this is Avatar. This is Avatar. And even though it's not, Street Fighter obviously or Dragon Ball Z, it's like this is probably going to be one of those games that you will see kids playing more of than you're used to. Like when we talk about kids in the FGC, we're talking about what Blas is 16
Yeah,
or
16.
17. He's young. Crime 17. Like we got these young folks, and then I'm talking about you're gonna have little kids like 7, 8, like, ooh, it's Avatar. Like I want to play Avatar. They might be
Yeah.
trash, from a competitive standpoint, but they're gonna want to play it because they're having fun.
Yeah.
And so even if it's not like this is at majors, I don't think the game like main stage at majors. I
Yeah.
think that they're like it's gonna have its community. It's gonna be competitive. You're gonna be able to go on start.gg and find a tournament. Like 5, 5 or so like notable tournaments a week. I don't think it's gonna be a bust in the competitive aspect. I just don't know if it's gonna get FGC major numbers or anything like that.
I do think I think the same. I think it'll be locally good. Online, it'll be good. Like you said, majors are the big question mark. For the first, like you said, couple years though, I definitely see it doing something. Being at majors at least. It's like 100% going to be at CEO. We already know that. I think for the rest of this year, whatever else they're going to have, it's going to be there. It's just coming out. And yeah, this is one of those games I do feel like kids will play, and people are going to be nasty at this game. Like, this is the type of game that's going to be like, woo! Like you said, if you don't keep up, good luck, because it's going to be a lot going on. So yeah, I like that. I do think I do agree with everything. I think the competitive lifespan is going to be there definitely for 2 years. I can see that because, like you said, the name is going to carry it. I think the community-wise, it's going to go on for a long time as long as they keep developing it. And they say they plan to do a few years of DLC. So I mean, hey, I think it's going to do its thing, especially knowing some of the characters that Avatar has. It might bring you back to the game. Like, hold on, you know what I mean? So like, this character's coming out. So I'm going to do this last question. You can do this quickly. 7 characters.
Okay.
Give me, and we don't have to say S, A, none of that, but give me ordered who you feel like is the best to worst.
Okay. I would say number 1, Azula.
Okay. I figured it might be her or somebody else. Go ahead.
Number 2 is Toph.
Yeah, there you go.
Number 3, I would say is Sokka.
Okay, I'm gonna be real with you, bro. People not talking about him enough because nobody wants to play him, right? Like, he's doing all that running, looking goofy. He's good. Go ahead.
Yes. Number 4 is hard. I'd probably say Zuko.
Okay.
Number 5 is Aang.
Okay.
Number 6. Number 5 is, I would say, Katara, then Aang, and then I would put Korra at the bottom.
Okay. And I'm gonna be real with you. I can see Korra at the bottom, right? Looking at what everybody else is doing, she seems like the most honest. She does seem very good, but she seems like the most honest character in this game, at least from what I can see.
Yeah, and I mean, the reason that I say Azula, just to throw that out there, is as number 1 is because she has a trap that makes her plus depending on the support style you choose for her, or the amount of time you can charge it. And leaving it out there to be active is like, I just get another turn. Yes, you have like a guard cancel kind of thing, which is very important, but it's so expensive. Like, and then it's like there are a lot of things you got to consider, and I think that she's going to be like the very mobile character who can get your resources down, or like it's just overbearing. And yes, I agree with you. And the reason I chose Korra as bottom is not because I think she's bad. I think every character is good, but with Korra, she has to get that touch, and her plus options are kind of risky because people like the movement makes it easy to react to some things just by like an enhanced backdash or something like that, and it's like, oh, now I've whiffed, I'm mad, recover, like punishable, and then I get punished. And she has some startup on the stuff that I really like using for situations like her anti-air. It takes a while for it to come out, so it's like you have to be very poised to control the pace, but she is strong whenever you get to that point. So I think Aang 5 is fair.
Aang 5?
It's like, it's hard. Katara, I fought a few of them who were doing things. I feel like she's only good if the person you're against doesn't know her options. But when you know them, it's kind of like, is that her only pressure tool? She's good at running away with her air fireball, but otherwise, I mean,
I feel like you need more time with her.
Yeah, she's technical, and but I got to see how people end up playing her before I'm like,
OP.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, I do agree with the Azula thing. I think people don't understand is like or they might understand it, is yeah, you got guard cancels and stuff, but putting that thing out there is just a super safe option. I don't have to really make a risk. I just put this thing out here. I'm plus. What are you gonna do about it? Type thing. So I could definitely see her being the best, and I've been seeing so much from her in general. She looks ridiculous. But that's it for the video, y'all. You know, thank you for your time, especially, and like I said, this was something I did want to come to you with because you, once again, are just kind of like the guy to ask these questions too. So I appreciate you.
Always glad I could be of assistance.
Yes, sir. And we'll go to his Twitch channel just so y'all can see his Twitch channel. All right, so yeah, I appreciate you, man. Appreciate the time. Appreciate the answer my questions and everything like that. We're gonna get up out of here, y'all. Let me leave a like on the video. I can't talk. Leave a like on the video. Leave a comment. Let me know what you guys thought about Avatar Legends. Let me know what you guys thought about this video. Would you like more content like this, just talking about video games and things like that? Because I mean, we love video games. We love talking about them. You know, I'll do the same video for Marvel Tokon. You know, if you guys like this, when the beta does drop and end, and make sure y'all subscribe to the boy. You already know what it is, man. It's free 90 free. Peace.
Peace.